Deuteronomy 6:4. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Eloheinu, Hashem Echad. Shema is a command, listen or hear, O Israel, the Lord. Notice this is the divine name, the tetragrammaton, the 4 letters. The Lord, our God, the Lord, one. This passage is very familiar. It's called Shema, after this first word, and it's quoted every day as a part of traditional Judaic prayers, and it sets up the Great Commandment. So this is one where we have to read it in Hebrew and not just hear the translations that we're familiar with. And so you have, Hear, O Israel, and then notice this noun sentence. There's no verbs here, but you have the divine name twice, the Lord, our God, the Lord, one. This is not unusual to need to add a verb. In Greek we add ami, and in Hebrew we would add, there could have been a haya, the word for to be, or is or are as needed. But we have to supply where to put it, and there's a couple of different ways to go with this verse. Some translations put the is here, and they say, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone, which would be appositional, or the Lord only. And so translations such as the NRSV and the JPS, the Jewish Publication Society translation, they both translate it this way. Now the focus of this then is on the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. So this doesn't focus so much on the Lord, but more on the faith of the people. Another place to put the is in this noun sentence is here, and that would be the Lord, then in apposition, our God, then another apposition, the Lord is one. And this is used by the Septuagint and by many other translations that we have today. The focus of this translation is on who God is. The Lord, our God, the Lord, is one. So this particular translation then sets up the Great Commandment in the next verse as being based on who the Lord is, whereas the previous translation focused on the monotheistic faith of God's people shows the Great Command as coming out of this monotheistic faith. Both of these translations are acceptable. The word echad, or one, works just a little bit better as one rather than in the sense of alone here. So I'd prefer the second translation, but either one works very well, and this just shows us how careful we need to be even with a very familiar verse like the Shema.